Nicoletta, please, and JigJaw with Jew, episode 10, go. Welcome back. Hello, everyone. Yes, you completely noticed something here. You're correct. It's this. See, gets funnier as it gets closer. Just looking at the shot here, my little camera on my phone. Oh, sorry, no. Right, so, I don't know if you can see the colour difference there between his family. That's his family, it's his mum and his dad. Ding! Right, so this is his mum and his dad. Now, if you've been listening properly, you will observe that Nathan likes a spray tan and that he, afterwards, when he's meant to be getting changed, he grabs the gun while the person's gone out and does another couple of coats. So if you think, oh, that looks like my fence panels, or that looks like my chest of drawers. Yeah, you're correct. So I'm going to load that there. I think that's worth just leaving somewhere. Just there, I think. And this is, I promise you this as well. So this. Okay. So this is David Dickinson on the left, and this is the dog that my mum has. Now, if you merge those two hairstyles, that's what's going on around the corner at the moment. So yeah, and obviously, as you can see, actually, this is why I'm comparing these two, because if you can see the colour, it's not a great picture of Dave, but yeah, see where we're going? Okay. It's just that I've alluded to that, and I just think it was worth mentioning. I'm going to get a better picture of these. It's still shock. You can't really see it. You can just see the utility shoe there. You can see it there, but it's a bit. When I get this all professionally done, I will get better. Okay, so I was going to tell you a couple of things, wasn't I? I was going to impart my absolute love of the wood pigeon sound. So stand by, Bethany, please, for the wood pigeon sound. Stand by?
Standing by.
Okay.
Hi, guys.
Wood pigeon, go. Bit louder, eh? That's nice, isn't it? Mm. Okay, so stand by for ring-collared dove.
Standing by.
Okay, ring-collared dove, go. Nice. And then stand by, please, for the call of the lollo.
Hang on 1 second.
Standing by.
Standing by.
Okay, and lollo, call of the lollo, go. And stand by again, do it again, and lollo. Right, so all of those three things are three things that we absolutely love in our life. That wood pigeon and that ring-collared dove, which you probably always thought was a pigeon, but now you know the difference. Are very important in our lives. And the lollo, the lesser spotted lollo, is an Italian Ciao Lorenzo. Yeah, that's his laugh, and it can, in a meeting, it can stop a meeting because it's so excellent and jovial and jolly, and he laughs like that all the time. And also sometimes, because of translation, I mean, if I'm not there to help, obviously, you can see. I think it does. Well done. You can see Lolo. What happens is something will be said, and people laugh, and then suddenly Lolo gets it, and he'll do his own laugh, and it is spectacular. So I'm glad you've got those, and we can call upon those at leisure now, can't we, Beth? Because we've got them. I'm going to slurp of my tea. Have you set a timer?
I have.
Yeah. So apologies that. So episode 8 was
25 minutes left.
Thank you. So episode 8 was very long, and this is the reason why. Because this cheap 40 quid camera, I can see it on my phone. I can see the camera on my phone, right? So I can see what I'm doing. But I've only just realised that it films it in 15. It films it in.
Can you pass me that bit?
Which what?
That bit. No, that bit. You just
This.
yeah.
This. Oh, sorry. Yeah. It only films in increments of 15 minutes. So every time I look at the phone, it gives me a time. I think, oh, Christ, I've only done 15 minutes, and then it says, oh, that's weird. So I thought, oh, I must have done 30. Oh no, it says I've only done 14. So I carry on, and then hilariously, I discovered that I'd done one for 45. So I'm very sorry about that. But then you got a bit shortchanged yesterday because I did 20. So it all works out in the end, doesn't it? So apologies about that. What else? Oh yeah. So Matt went out on the bike again today, and we just don't acknowledge the outfit. None of us talk about
The
it.
outfit's quite
Upsetting.
yes.
So what?
Yeah, I was about
Yeah,
upset,
that's
yeah.
But what we don't do is none of us discuss it. So he comes down and he looks a bit like a hobo because he's growing a beard for some reason, lockdown beard.
Yeah.
And
which Nan wants him to get rid of.
Nan is desperate for him to get rid of. She can't handle it every time she sees him at the door. Anyway, so we call him Hobo Husband. But he's absolutely thrilled with the look. Thrilled. I think he feels really rock and roll with it. Anyway, so he comes in, he gets his little clicky shoes on, none of us look up, he leaves, he comes, he needs oxygen, he's back in the house. Anyway, he's done his bike today. I've had quite a few emails, some of which many agreeing with Matt from Hove, weeping upon sight of Barbara Cook. They all understand that actually if you saw, you can have a slurp of my tea, drink from that side. So yeah, lots of people have said, yeah, I get it. I get breaking down seeing that woman. So yeah, what do I know? Clearly nothing. What else am I going to tell you? Okay, so my friend Catherine, Irish, mentioned the other day, brother is Mark, who does the fertility stamp all round, well, anywhere he can, the double stamp in the dancing. He's married to my friend Mike. She's married to my friend Mike, and it was their 25th wedding anniversary yesterday. And what they did tell me was that because Mike wears a moccasin slipper, what they were going to do that evening was Catherine was going to insist that he kept his moccasin slippers on, which I thought was sweet of them to tell me. They didn't need to, but just that sort of gave a little bit of textual detail to that, to their evening yesterday. What else has happened? Oh yeah, so Terry has messaged me, who, remember the story that Terry messaged to say about our first time we met, and he said he's surprisingly enjoying this. So again, he's managed to knock me down, just with his words. Thank you, darling. We'll have to pay copyright on that if you sing any more. So yeah, he said he was surprisingly enjoying it. So that's good, isn't it? Also, Tim emailed in relation to Terry, where he heard it, and he said, he wrote to me basically. So I'm drinking a lot of tea today. He said, Jude, don't forget the time when we were working together and I got my fan club. Now, what happened was, we just finished a show. I was packing up my little A4 ring binder, because I'm so cheap to run and just so old. I think they go down there, Beth. I think these are to do with books.
Yes.
And I think there's a book theme down there.
It looks like it.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll have a look at those. So I think that goes down there. Anyway, so Tim said, yeah, so we finished the show, I was packing up my stuff, and I turned around, I was chatting to Tim, and I realised he wasn't listening to me. Because he had, 40 women, all... And Tim does lighting, okay? So Tim is not on the stage. He's essentially, he was lighting it, okay? So I turned round and he was signing autographs. And he totally shaded me. And so I went back to the tour bus on my own because I couldn't wait. There were so many women all having their photographs with him, and, they loved him, absolutely loved him. But he sort of just didn't realise I was even there. So I went back and put my little pyjamas on and I got into the bus. But yeah, he did write to say, please remember that my fan club is still active and they still follow me everywhere. They can't at the moment though, obviously, but as soon as lockdown happens, he'll have them outside his house again. Now this is right. This is what has made Beth and I laugh all day. Right, I've got a prop. Well, it's not a prop. It's actually something that's happened today. Okay, so this beautiful woman here, we use her cookbook a lot. Right, she's gorgeous. She doesn't seem to eat any of her own cakes, or she eats a tapeworm like Simone does. Right, so that's beautiful. If you could find the page we were trying to recreate today. So Beth and I have been baking a lot, haven't we? And annoyingly eating it, which isn't meant to be the plan.
But we're in lockdown, guys, so no one's going to see us until this is over.
Well, we won't be able to get out. The amount we're eating. Anyway.
We were attempting to make this.
Right, a bit lower, babe. So that looks delicious, doesn't it? Right, that looks lovely. That looks like a Battenberg. That you would recognise. Right, there's all the recipe. It's very clear what you've got to do. Right, this is no word of a lie. This is just what's happened.
And this is our version.
So yeah, so let's. I don't know if you see it. So let's just try and show the. Yeah, right. I don't want to. It's going to fall. Can you see? We did do the squares a bit, but it's not right. Open that page again, Ben. Let's have it. I mean, it tastes delicious because it's essentially loads of sugar, but that's our Battenberg. And I just had to bring it because I literally haven't stopped laughing. I have not. It's made me laugh so much because I tried to put the. Yeah, I mean, I suppose. They're pretty similar. Mm-hmm. But we have laughed so much at that because I did try to put the marzipan on, but it got really solid and I couldn't roll it out. So I thought, a bit like icing, that I would just try. Right, enough of eating that. So yeah, no, I thought it would be easy to roll the marzipan. Turns out it really isn't. And then, it was just a debacle. I think Matt might have wet himself laughing. Oh, look, this can go up here. So my mother and father-in-law are now listening to this, which is excellent. They said the first you're going to go.
Yeah.
See you later.
We'll be back in. We've got 18 minutes left.
So Bethany's timing me now, and she's going to lightly knock on the door when it's up because I keep overrunning. Because I can't stop talking once I start and things just
shut this in the bin.
Please do, so we don't eat it. But they're listening now. But they did write to me initially and say we can't hear anything or see the puzzle. So the whole thing seemed a bit pointless. But then they put it on their computer and they could see everything. So, cool, I married well with them. What a pair they are. They're astounding. And I couldn't be more loved by them, so thank goodness. Although, I think they might judge me for my tablecloth because, Jane, you wouldn't have such a shoddy ship. Do you just want to see this again, just to believe the colour? Look at that. He was going on holiday with them and he just thought that was okay. He posted that picture. God, he got abuse. Right now, just so you know, Ravensburger, still no word. Okay, so I've had an email from, and I know you'll be thrilled, Dwayne has emailed, but I'm going to start with one from a guy called Scott from Scotland. Now, Scott is an excellent cameraman, and I think you should meet our mate Sparky. I think you'd both hit it off. You'd both get on very well. Anyway, so Scott has messaged, which is excellent that he's listening, which was a lovely surprise, and it was a lovely surprise. He also is a bit surprised he's enjoying it. Hope this message finds you well. La 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 la. Not being able to point my cameras at people for 8 weeks. He's been oversleeping, stripping paint off all the woodwork in his flat, and not painting it because I can't buy paint, and not looking after my houseplants, and wondering why they're dying. Funny enough, everything looked nicer before I started trying to make it look nicer. Yep, fair enough. With your bucket planter solution, you sound like a dab hand at DIY. What's been your biggest DIY fails? DIY fails. Well, I think it's. I mean, as you say, I've nailed that sort of gardening situation. I think anything with a drill. I think drilling. I think me involving myself with the drill has been slightly catastrophic. And I think I drilled and I nearly electrocuted myself because I went into a wall, and then fortunately someone just dragged me off because I was about to go through electrical cable. I don't think about things like that. I should have done. I always worry about mowing the lawn actually in case I'm going to electrocute myself. I really worry about that. I worry about that so much that I mow lawns quite quickly. That's why the only reason I'd like a petrol mower, even though we've got a tiny amount of grass, I'd like a petrol mower but then I'd never start it. I've got a funny gammy arm now, and I wouldn't actually be able to start it. Hi.
Would you like me to make you another cup of tea?
No, I'm all right, thank you. I can last 15 minutes. Yes, thank you. I thought, concerned that I'd completed the internet in the past few weeks, I too thought I might have to start a jigsaw. I can now confirm that I'll absolutely not be doing that. I am, however, more than happy to watch your efforts and judge from a safe certificate. Thank you for this public service. Scott, I like that message. I like that you feel it's a public service. I like that very much. I like that Terry is surprisingly enjoying it. And I like that you're watching it up there as well. But I know that you've also said in here that you think my accent is spectacular. So I'm going to say, that's me, pet. No, that's not right. That's me, hen. I'm away down the road, but... And it's like being back on Socky Hall Street, probably, for you. And when I did start in Glasgow, I was worried I wouldn't understand anybody. But it turns out they struggled to understand me. But what I did understand... I didn't understand, I should say. I'm going to go around here because someone wrote to me yesterday and said, I think it might be Claire, so it looks like your own hands when I'm this side, but I'm further away from the mic, which will freak Pete out. But they kept saying to me at the theatre, we're going to the shops, do you want some ginger? I was like, no, I don't, no, thank you. Don't like ginger, thank you. And every day, do you want some ginger? And it turned out that means fizzy pop. But I didn't realise that. It took me too long. But, and they said, we're going to run my messages. That's errands. So, I mean, unfortunately, not only can I speak, all those European languages, I can also help you with our local indigenous ones. Scottish. What else? I'm enjoying your wide range of accents, Australian especially. I have to do that, please, because they just wouldn't understand down there. And you've worked with Steve now, haven't you, Scott? So you understand that. And also because he's normally bedecked in some sort of finery, I have to be very clear with him because all of the capes go up round his ears. I'm going to write to Rick Wakeman tonight. I think I'm going to do that to see if he wants to have a homage to Steve. I don't know. A few of you have been writing to me about Steve and want photographs. I'll see if he's got any. Normally they're blanket banned, but I will try because they are. I'm trying to illuminate you about Steve with my words, but it might just be that he gets a bit shy like that. But we'll find out. Do you remember in Baku, which we did a job in Azerbaijan, Baku, the stage doors, we were all given celebrity nicknames. I found myself telling this story recently and embarrassingly could only remember a handful, including Dawson Wells. I'm sure that you remember them. What have been your favourites and silliest nicknames for people's props or inanimate objects to get you through shows? So when we're on a show, a large one, lots of the technical boys, when they CAD it up, because they're so grown up and got enormous brains, they write A, B, C, D, E, 1, 2, 3, that sort of thing, on entrances and pieces of machinery and set. Well, first thing first, there is method in my madness, and lots of people think I do it with frippery. But because if you've got a loud noise and loads of show sounds, E, 3, B, C, D, E all sound the same. So if you're sitting on a piece of scenery and you think you're waiting out for a cue for Jude to shout to you, stand by for machinery E, for example, you could also think it's B or C or D or 3. So I started naming all these pieces of scenery, and also for comedic effects, because when you're doing a long old show, you've got to have something to keep the troops entertained, or myself, at the very minimum. It always winds up the technical team, but it doesn't matter because I have to say them and they have to listen anyway. So in Baku, we had loads of doors because this bad boy was the director, and he put loads of doors in it with a brilliant designer called Joe. And so I thought it'd be funny to have all of the doors named after door situations. So we had Diana doors, they were the big ones in the middle. We had Dawson's Creek, George doors. I gave that to the crew. I wasn't happy with that one, but they loved it. George doors. We had Scott, I can't remember myself now. I should have written them down. I can see all the pictures. Les Dawson. It's a great picture of Les Dawson. We had Dora Bryan. Isadora Duncan, and I think that might have been it. Anyway, so I had to say stand by Isadora Duncan, stand by George Dawes, all of that went on, and it was a bit of a mouthful, but I was determined to say it, and I wasn't going to say the number 2 or anything like that. Anyway, so what was brilliant was we had an Azeri crew and they were taken off the roads basically. These lads were like, one minute they were digging up the roads, next minute they were in showbiz, and in a nutshell, all they could speak, they couldn't speak any English. They were such a lovely group of people, and so all they learnt was I would say to this little lad, stand by, Les Dawson, and he'd say, Les Dawson standing by. Now that's the only English this lad knows to this day, and he just heard Les Dawson go. And so I think one of my greatest cultural exchanges is that. Oh, dog under. Florrie's now rummaging around looking for smells of that batten bug that have gone out, I think. What's the other one? So, and also in a favourite cue of mine, and I know that I sound puerile and childish and like, I just sound like some old version of crap Benny Hill. But in one show we had these enormous inflatable beavers. Enormous. Like Canadian beavers. And they were pushed by grown men. And one of my favourite cues ever, sadly, and my mum's not really listening, Matt's not listening, no one cares. But I had to say, stand by to inflate your beavers. Inflate your beavers, go. And on the night, one of the big beavers started to deflate. So we had a deflated beaver in front of us. But I mean, again, you're probably like, if you enjoy this, you enjoy this. If not, you just think I'm just some sort of child. But if you've been working long hours, sometimes it's just funny. Right, what's your? Oh, quite a lengthy email, Scott. I did appreciate. Don't say. Oh yeah. I can't wait till this is all over, and you can finally take me on that tour of the Tunnocks factory you promised me. Well, yes, because I love Tunnocks tea cakes with some sort of mad passion, and I did when I was doing a conference ages ago. I actually met this salesman from Tunnocks, and he gave me a tea towel. And he said if I was ever in Scotland, I'd have to have a tour, and I'm determined to do that. And oh my God, the dog's Florrie, you're on the jigsaw. Get off! What are you doing? No, don't drink my tea. Right, sorry. I don't. Sorry. There. Get down. Right. Well, sorry about that. She can jump really high. What have you done that for, you loon? No, you're not coming up again. Right, she's all over the place. Right, who's the next one from? Okay, so Dwayne, here we go. I wonder if Becky's going to knock at the time that I have to call this a day. Anyway, I'm going to start with Dwayne's email. Here we go. Oh, the dog's now. Oh, don't be sick. Dear darling Julia, thank you for showing off your melons in episode 7. You must be very proud. I am. I have a few questions. Okay, here we go. So we all like Dwayne's questions, don't we? And I printed it out so I don't have to go into my phone situation. Right, I'm going to try and read and do the jigsaw because that's the point, Julia. Remember. Okay. Boris the Bojo Johnson spent his post-virus recuperation at his official country residence, Chequers Court. A few years ago, I flew over it at a relatively low altitude whilst piloting a light aircraft. I was having a flying lesson which was given to me as a birthday present. What is the best birthday present that you've ever received? Was it the Apple iPhone 4 that you bought in 2010 with all the money that had been donated to you for your birthday? Well, you are alluding to a very funny story here of my dear friend Sam, who, when we were all out on a job together, my birthday's just before Christmas, and there was a little bit of a whip round for my birthday, right? Oh, this goes down here. I've just seen that this goes down here. Is that still on camera though? Yeah. So there was a whip round, and they gave the money to Sam because then iPhones were relatively new. As you can hear, the iPhone 4 was coming out. So yeah, so she had the money from my phone. There was a lovely card with a piece of paper with a photograph of an iPhone in it. But sadly, I never ever saw that money, and I never did have the iPhone 4. So I think that's what you're trying to get me to say, that story of the missing dollars, which people donated very generously. And Sam claims that those dollars are still in her knicker drawer somewhere. I mean, she's even moved house, and the knicker drawer has held this money. So yeah, so that was a very yes. But what was for many years I have mistakenly thought that you drove a Swedish car because you constantly referring to your Volvo. I was puzzled to find out that you actually owned a Volkswagen. If money was no object and you did not have to ferry your 2 children and dogs around, what would be your dream car? Well, yes, it's true, and now I've got a Skoda actually, ironically. A Karoq. Quite nice, although it's sitting on the drive quite a lot. I would like either a Maserati Quattroporte. I just like saying that because it sounds like I know what I'm talking about. Or, now actually, you know what I've always liked? I've wanted one of those Dodge, like a Scooby-Doo van. When the kids were young, I always wanted one of those big Scooby-Doo vans. It had all the seats in it, so when you picked up kids, you could all go out together and they could all jump in. A bit like, it's called a Dodge, but it's like 6 litre. It's a 6 litre engine. Matt said it wasn't worth spending £120 on petrol just to take the kids around to the woods or something. But I was tempted. But what would I really like? Oh, I don't know. No. Do you know what, Dwayne? I don't think after all this Corona stuff, I'm not bothered. I'm not bothered actually. But it's a very good question. Right, this is his next question. Okay. I'm going to read and try and do the jigsaw. I once made a classic schoolboy error in attempting to shock you by disclosing something of a very personal nature. At the time, it had not occurred to me that disclosing personal information to you in an effort to cause shock was the equivalent of trying to repel Count Dracula by threatening to douse him in a bucket of O negative. What news or information has most genuinely shocked you? Well, I think probably that you're listening to any more of these, to be honest with you. I think the fact that you are still listening, even though, A, it's drivel, you know, you have a lot of other stuff going on. You've got women to entertain virtually. You know, you've also got your books you write. You write books on Michael Jackson and cricketers and stuff. You've got that, plus your raw duties that you must be doing. So I think the biggest shock I've had is that. Right, who's next? Who's next? Oh, yeah, so KP. So KP, who works for NBC, he's a very dear friend. And I met him many years ago on a job. And I'm going to have another slurp of tea. Because the mixture of the whippet jumping on the table and Dwayne's questions and Scott's questions is dehydrating. I'm going to put these over here so I can read and jigsaw, okay? Even though Zoe said I'm not really a jigsaw. We'll come back to that, Zoe. So... yeah, so Kevin has written, it is quite fun listening. Because I asked him, I said, Kev, are you listening still? Is it boring? Any notes? Am I getting tedious? Because I'll just stop. What I don't want to do is, there's no point in me keeping doing this. If no one listens, I'll just stop it. It's easy. It's easy peasy. I'm not doing it for any other reason than just to make all those people laugh who want to laugh. But if nobody listens, I'm quite happy just to go and sit in my knickers and watch Place in the Sun. So... He wrote back saying, I wrote to him saying, apart from the content, the tablecloth, the level of camera work and the sound quality, is there anything I can improve? And he said, he's replied by saying, it's quite fun, listen, quite fun. So we'll be discussing that. You may want to introduce yourself to those who don't know who you are. Well, I know what you're saying there. But I don't know. I wonder whether it can just build up. Like if you're listening and you're trying to work it out, a bit like you did, then maybe that's the fun. Maybe I don't tell people who I am, although it's not particularly interesting. I mean, that sounds like I'm more an enigma now already. But I wonder whether maybe that's the fun of trying to work out in the street. If you see a chubby little choir boy like Jimmy Cranky, Google him. You'll think, oh, I wonder if that's you. So, let's have a look. Now, the rest of your email goes into such detail about what I should be doing that actually, to be honest with you, I can't read it all out, Kev. I mean, the notes are so prolific that I just don't think I'm going to have time to do it. So I might have to speak to you. I might have to do a Zoom with you because it's so detailed. It's gone to it's gone so detailed from a casual little question. So I will follow that up with you, babe. That's not a problem. It's very hot in here today. It's very hot in here today. I hope you enjoyed that Battenberg. I can't stop laughing about that Battenberg. But then it's also tainted by remembering that I talk about Simone's bloody tapeworm. Now I'm going to get the box. So I was just moving this. Hold on. Probably the sound quality has upset you today, isn't it? Because I've been over there. But I sort of quite like the fact you like my arms over there. So, right, let's have a look. Right, I've got this bit here. Can you see? Got that. Then I think I've got... oh, maybe they're in the wrong place. Maybe they're in the wrong place. What are these then? Wooden. Oh no, maybe that's the edge of the... I think the whole edge of the puzzle is in this. Don't know if you can see very finely. I think this is the bloody edge. It's like a border, a wooden border. Oh no. No, I don't know what that is. Oh, yes I do. It's down here. It's down here. I hope where you are, you've got the sound of a wood pigeon, and I hope where you are that you've got the sound of a ring-collared dove. Oh, I'm out of time.
Yeah.
Right, well, Beth, let's do a little wave, and I think that's very pleasing. I like that you're keeping me on time because I don't want to bore people. So this has been another random one, but look after yourselves. We'll see you in episode 11.
Bye, guys.
And if you don't want to tune in again, well, that's rude, isn't it?
It is rude.
Lots of love. Bye.